We got to air it out. Let's air it out. So we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So
how do you say that? Air it out? Air it out?
Air it out.
It's the Air It Out Podcast with your host, Jerome Jones, the guy Avery Collins, and my man, Darren Braxton. I don't know. I'm harmonizing right now, even though I'm very, very, very sad. Very, very sad. I'm trying to uplift my spirits because the Sixers suck. Anyway, we are a football podcast, so we're going to get to that. I'm your host, Jerome Jones. I got Avery Collins. What's going on, my man?
What's going on? Don't ever start the show like that again.
Right. I apologize. Yeah, I apologize.
But don't feel bad. At least your team got to the second round. We got swept. So Heat Nation still, So yeah.
Sure. Darren Braxton, what's going on, man?
I feel very awkward right now at that introduction, but I'm going to move on from that. It's okay. I've never seen this side of Jerome, but listen, the Sixers, they suck. It's not to be played with right now. I don't know what's going on with them, but they got to get it together. We should not be doing this against the Hawks.
I hate basketball. This is why I do podcast. That's why I do football. I hate basketball. Every year it happens. But no, guys, we're going to get right into this, man, because I need to move on. I need to get my head out of that gutter of last night's game. So let's talk about some football, man. And we're going to talk about a player that used to be in the A, Mr. Julio Jones. Got traded to the Tennessee Titans. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. We're going to talk about it now. I want to start with the guy that, is an Atlantean fan, Mr. Avery Collins. I want to know, how do you feel about the trade? Who won the trade? And how will the Falcons bounce back from this? Or will they bounce back from this? Or will they be worse?
Well, so to answer your question, as far as like who won the trade and everything like that, I think it remains to be seen. We got to see what those picks, actually turn out, or how they pan out for the Falcons. But currently you have to say that the Titans won the trade. You're getting a perennial All-Pro. You're getting a receiver who still threatens every single level of the defense from deep, intermediate, and short route. He can take a slant 70 yards, or he can go up and get it. And he can go over the middle. He's one of the bigger receivers, strongest receivers in the league. He blocks. He does everything that you want as a receiver, and he's quiet, right? He doesn't boast or he's not boisterous. He's not, I need the ball type of receiver. He just wants to win. So I think that as it currently stands, the Titans definitely won this trade currently. So kudos to them. I've said it before. I said it again. As much as I wanted Julio to stay in Atlanta and retire a Falcon, I look at it from the standpoint, if you don't want to be there, then I don't want you there. It's as simple as that. And it's not – I don't believe Julio would have been a cancer in the locker room, because as a player and as a teammate, I don't think he along with guys like Russell Wilson and guys of that echelon, those are the type of players that I believe, no matter what the situation is, if they're obligated to be on the field and they go on the field, they're going to give it 110%. No matter what. So I don't think he'd have been a distraction or a cancer in that regard. But at the same time, if you don't want to be there, then let's not, hold you hostage. I think that the Falcons did a good thing in trading him. And I gave in the previous podcast a couple of the teams that I would be okay with him getting traded to. And obviously number one was the Titans. So I'm okay with that. AJ Brown gets to learn from his mentor. And is his idol in that regard. Hopefully it can take his game to the next level. But at the end of the day, it's just time for us to continue to move forward. I think we still have a lot of pieces on offense that can still make us threatening to defenses. We still got Calvin Ridley, who led the league last year in catches 20-plus yards down the field. You still got we brought in Mike Davis, who I think is going to be a huge addition for us, especially in the run game. Obviously, we brought in we drafted Kyle Pitts. We still have Hayden Hurst on the team as well, and brought in another tight end from the Bills. So I think we're going to look to run the ball first and play off of play action, which is going to be right up Matt Ryan's alley, who again for the last 5 years has led the league in passing since Kyle Shanahan has left. So I think that we still got some pieces to do some good things on offense. But we'll see how the season plays out. Good luck to Julio. Thank him for everything that he did in Atlanta. Obviously, he was a staple within not just the franchise, but in the community. He did phenomenal things for the community. So, and he never spoke down or bad about the community or the team or the players or anything in that regard. So, shout out to him. And I hope he has a phenomenal career. I will say this: what's going to annoy me is the fact if he doesn't win in Tennessee, he's going to want to retire a Falcon. That's going to annoy me. As a true Falcons fan, it's like, well, you should have just stayed. But it is what it is.
Darren, how you feel about this trade as well? Because this is a big trade, and now we're going to have a team that consists of Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and Derek, your man, Mr. Stiff Arm, Henry. How do you feel about that, sir?
I'm honestly glad you said it the way you did because Avery touched on all of the great points for the Falcons and what can happen for their offense. But let's talk about the real reason why the Titans won. It's because of what Julio does for the Titans offense. The Titans offense has now become probably one of the 3 hardest to stop in the NFL. And yeah, I'm putting it 3. The only 2 other ones, honestly, and this is a big one, if Lamar Jackson can hit the outsides, that offense is very, very hard to stop. The Chiefs, and Brady, very hard to stop.
Everything with the Ravens.
I do agree with him because he did give the caveat if Lamar can hit the outsides, and if that's the case, we already know they're the top rushing team in the league. So if he can hit the outsides, they're definitely going to be more dangerous offense.
Exactly, and that's why I said a big caveat of the if, and I understand that. So I might throw him in there, but I definitely mentioned if is a big thing for right there.
I'm mad that either one of you guys said the Buccaneers. I mean, as much as I don't like Tom Brady,
Darren said the Bucs.
Yeah, that was my very last one. I said the last Buccaneers when they get you because of the simple fact you got to think about it. Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, the whole crew comes back, and now they're going to be healthy this season.
And don't forget about Rojo. Don't forget about Rojo. He's that.
Rojo and Fournette, and then the throw-in piece, Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That's the throw-in, Antonio Brown. So you got to give credit to him. And the Titans go along those lines now because of the simple fact Julio needs to be double covered every single play. But how can you double cover him, double cover AJ, while having enough people in the box to stop the man, the myth, the legend, Derrick Henry? That is going to be the issue that every single team has this year. You cannot put 6. You cannot put 6 in the box against Derrick Henry. And you'll need all the coverage help you can get with the 2 monsters on the outside and Julio Jones and AJ Brown.
Can you imagine like not Julio Jones. Can you imagine Derrick Henry already stiff arming guys with like 8 people in the box? Now he's gonna have a lighter box.
That's my point. And the last thing to point out with this, just for the Titans offense, having those 2 on the outside now can help reduce some of the carries that Henry will have to have. He'll have almost 100 yards or maybe 15 carries now instead of 20 carries, 25, 30 carries, which now extends his career, extends their window a little bit on how long they actually have him. That is a great thing.
The only slight negative I'll say about that is that Derrick Henry runs harder the more he touches the ball. It's the only thing. He runs a lot harder the more he touches the ball.
Now that's the beauty. That's the beauty of having those two big receivers on the outside. They can block and they're willing to block. And you got to remember down toward the end of the season, they're going to be running the ball a lot more anyway. So I think Derrick Henry's still going to eat as much. Do I see another 2,000 yard year? No. 1,500? I definitely can see it. I can still see 1,500 leading the league in rushing. But now the issue is you can lead the league in rushing, and you can have two receivers go over 1,000 yards. So that's where it gets really, really scary for everybody. So scary.
Listen, league leader rushers do not have to have those touches either.
I'm making sure the Eagles don't play the Titans this year. Okay. Oh man, that would have been a nightmare. All right, let's get to our next topic. The Madden cover athlete. Now, I always look forward to this every year. Not really for whoever gets on the cover, but you guys already know I'm into graphic. I do graphic design, so I love looking at the different designs they do for each cover. Madden just brought out released their cover just recently, and I'll pull it up in a second for you viewers that haven't seen it yet. But I want to know what you guys think about it, and then I'm gonna give my opinion because being the graphic designer, I think I did this last year too, talking about it in the graphical kind of way. But I'm sorry with you, Darren. What do you think about the cover being Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes? While you're doing that, I'm going to pull it up for you guys.
So first off, I need you guys to understand why I'm going to say this statement. So I'm going to give you a backstory before I state the statement. Now, I was told that there was many rumors of who can be on the cover, and one of the rumors was that someone from EA stated there will be two escape artists type of guys on the cover of Madden. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, cool. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Or Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. Along those lines, guys that have shown to be true escape artists. So I'm expecting something along those lines. Even the Rodgers thing was probably pushing it only because of his situation, but he did have MVP last year. So I'm thinking all these things. So my statement is this Madden cover is a cruel joke. It's a very, very cruel joke. You do not talk about escape artists and put Tom Brady's name in the same category. Come on. When has this been the case? When has this been the case? Come on, man.
Definitely. All right, so here, this is the case, right? This is the case cover right here. This is from Madden 22's official website on Twitter. I'm sorry, Twitter page. So that's how it looks right there. Darren, I don't know if you was finished or not, but if you are,
listen, I like the cover. It's just it was a cruel joke. Don't play me by talking about escape artists for Tom Brady. He's been the luckiest with escapes, but I will not say is all escape artists Tom Brady. Come on now. We all know about the statue back there. We all know about the statue. But it's okay.
Definitely. All right, Avery, what do you think about the cover and what do you think about the athletes that are on the cover?
So a couple of things, just to go to Darren's point about the escape artist. Well, Tom Brady is an escape artist. He escaped a lot of those scandals and cheating over the year to get to those.
I didn't want to bring it up, and that's why they got him up there for escape artist. And I ain't want to say it. Since he throwing the bombs out there, he not only escaped the scandals, but he escaped New England.
You know, he also escaped New England. But let's take it from a football standpoint. He is actually one of the top quarterbacks when it comes to avoiding QB pressures in the pocket. So I guess from that statistical standpoint, you can say he's an escape artist in that regard. He's not a scrambling quarterback, and I think they were made it clear when they said escape artist in that regard, because a scrambling quarterback or a mobile quarterback does that, but he's an escape artist when it comes to in the pocket. It's really hard to touch him because he knows how to maneuver around the pocket probably better than anybody in the NFL outside of Aaron Rodgers. So, I like it. There was a comparison between this cover and 2011's cover with Larry Fitzgerald and Troy Polamalu. I think the 2011 cover, just from a standpoint of, I guess, fierceness, blows this one out of the water because, I mean, it looked like they were attacking each other. They're two dogs, two guys that you knew whenever you lined up, you had a game on your hands when you lined up against those two guys. So I love that and how they were kind of pit against each other. And this one, they look kind of peaceful, like, yeah, we chilling or whatever. But I think it's hard in the sense of, yeah, we chilling, like we out here. We know we nice. We swaggy. We got it. We got MVPs. We got Super Bowls.
Sorry, Avery, I had to bring back the horn for that joke. That was you gotta get it again. I had to.
But yeah, I'm not mad at it from a graphic standpoint. I do not like the lines going through their bodies. Let's just call it what it is. I don't like that. I really don't like that at all. I think it looks weird. But outside of that, I think it's a dope cover. And I love the fact that they're going kind of the older echelon and then the newer echelon of quarterback coming in after. So I think that's a dope tribute. And I think this is going to be Tom Brady's last cover. So I think they, hey, let's give you one last hurrah here. And so yeah, I think it was I think overall I'd give it a solid B+.
All right, you ready? First of all, I'm gonna start with the athletes. 2 thumbs down. You have over 1,696 players in the NFL. And every year you choose the same guys every year. I get it. You want to pick the MVP. You want to pick the GOATs. I get it.
It should have been Derrick Henry.
You already had him. You already had Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady. This is the 3rd time Tom Brady been on a cover. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Come on, guys, pick somebody new. Make it fresh. What are y'all doing?
It should have been Derrick Henry and Aaron Rodgers. Let's call
it. It should have been. Avery, you deserve it again. You deserve the horn. Avery's on fire today. What's going on, man? Avery's on fire. Listen,
I had a nap.
Every year, I love. Again, I'm not huge on the actual athletes, but give us something new. I don't care who it is. I really don't care. But why every year it's the same guys and it's always quarterbacks too? That drives me crazy. They already get the MVPs. They already get, Offensive Player of the Year. They already get all the praise already, and I get it. They're quarterbacks. They're the most important players in the NFL, maybe in sports altogether. But, dude, am I not the only one that's just tired of everything always just being quarterbacks? Is it just me? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me in the chat room. Am I the only one just tired of quarterbacks getting all the glory? It's just annoying. Let's about some defensive players. Come on, man. We got some great defensive players in this league. Never get any shot. Man, come on. It's so annoying. All right, let's get to the graphic part. Because I always got to talk about the graphics. Now, I'm going to repeat almost the same exact thing I said last year. Y'all remember what I said last year? Anybody remember? No? All right. I said this last year. It seems like every year Madden hires these graphic designers, thousands of dollars, to do the most simplest piece of crap like this. I get it. This is like a boy band cover. This is a boy band cover. This is like they about to put some bars out there right now. Spit bars, spit hot fire. Like, look at them. Look at them. They like, yo, like, this is a cover album. Like, this is really like a rap album. It's only like a Madden album. It's the most simplistic cover album yet. It's so like, dude, like, my little brother can put this together. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, this is like, I hate Canva. This is look like somebody just did this on Canva. Like, you paid. Give me your money. I will do it for you. I will do it for you. Please, what is going on, man? Like, hey, y'all need graphic designers? Hit me up. I'll do it for cheaper from whoever you paid to do this, because this is it's not even that is a ugly picture.
You might need to send an email, Jerome. Send an
Yo,
email.
seriously.
Man.
It's not that it's ugly, but dude, I remember the days when Madden come out and you like it's like, oh, that's crazy, like the splash with good effects and stuff like that. And I like simplicity as well, but dude, like,
yeah, this looks like they just
a couple of triangles here.
They picked one from a photo shoot and was like, all right, let's put a border around it.
Exactly. It was literally a picture with a background and border.
That's all. They were like,
really,
everybody
Avery,
take
Avery, you could have did a better job with this.
I'm sure.
Background borders.
100%. Let's see what one of our commenters say. Wifey. She said
That's facts. It do look like a fire mixtape. It do look like a fire mixtape. Like I said, it's tough in that regard. It's hard in that regard. Like it's
it looks like, dude, if you would have shown me this and I didn't know who these guys were, I'd be like, yo, I want to listen to whatever they about to put out because this about to drop fire. They about to go in.
Yay.
They about to drop that butter pecan.
They about to drop that J. Cole like all season right now, right? Like, yo, what is going on? Like
TB12 and Patty Mahomes on the mic. Just wait for it. That's all this says.
Listen. You show me this cover album, I would think they rap better than freaking what's his name? Le'Veon Bell. I don't think Le'Veon Bell.
I give it to him. I give it to him with this cover. I give it to him with this cover.
We're not gonna get into that. Le'Veon Bell wilding out right now on the Chiefs head coach right now. So we're gonna leave that one alone. But all right, let's get to our last point, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of fired up about that album cover. As a graphic designer, it just drives me crazy.
Cover fire.
All right, let's get to our most unappreciated NFC players. So, if you haven't checked out our last podcast, we talked about all the players that are in the AFC that we believe are underappreciated, and these are guys that don't get a lot of recognition, that play very well, that need more recognition. So we're here to give the recognition to those players. And just like last time, we're gonna go around, talk about a couple players that we like, and tell us like if there's a player that you think is unappreciated. So we're gonna do the NFC. And we're gonna start with Avery. Who do you think is the most unappreciated player in the NFC?
It's tough, man. I think there's a couple guys that could go in this list. I'm gonna just give like my top three that I think are probably the most unappreciated. And it's no specific order, just my top three guys. I'm gonna start with number one, Taysom Hill. I really believe as much hype as people give Taysom Hill, I still don't think people really understood what he did for the Saints last year. And going what was it, 4-1 or 3-1 when no, it's 4-1 when Drew Brees went out. I mean, I really think if they don't win those games, that derails their season. I don't think that they end up making the playoffs. I don't think that they end up doing the things that they did. And so I'm going to say right now, I believe that one of the most underrated players is Taysom Hill. Number two. This one is tough, but yeah, I'm going to do it. Matthew Stafford. I think people really underrate how good Matthew Stafford really is.
Especially Lion fans.
Exactly. And I think he's finally going to get a chance to show exactly what he's capable of doing. I think that, he's going to have a team with weapons around him, an actual running game, a defense that can stop some teams from scoring. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season as long as he stays healthy. And I think that the Rams are going to be legit contenders to make a run in the playoffs this year. And then number three, I was torn between two players. I'll name the two players. And then I'll pick. The two players that I'm torn between are Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook. I think I'm going to lean more toward Ezekiel Elliott, and the reason is because no, we're not seeing first 3 years Ezekiel Elliott, right? We're not seeing that guy. But Ezekiel Elliott is still a really good running back. He's one of those guys who knows how to fall forward. He doesn't lose yards a lot. He doesn't lose the ball a lot. He doesn't make boneheaded plays a lot. He's typically there all the time. He shows up and he's not injured and different things like that. And he still threatens a defense. And I think that's the reason why he's underrated. I don't think he's, like I said, the first 3 years Ezekiel anymore or anything like that. But I do believe that part of the reason that they were even close to being in some of the games last year was because of the fact that he still threatens a defense. We know that if he gets going, he can change a game. We've seen him do it, right? And so that's the reason that I think I'm going to lean toward him as far as, the more one of the more underrated guys. Like I said, I wanted to go Dalvin Cook because I think that may be a market thing more than it is an underrated thing. I think because of the market that he plays in, he doesn't get the shine and recognition that he deserves. And an honorable mention, obviously, I'm gonna be a homer here, but whatever. Matt Ryan, I think he's more I think he's one of the more underrated guys. He gets a lot of slack. He's a lot of flack, but as I stated earlier in this podcast, Matt Ryan has led the league in passing for the last 5 years. Ever since Kyle Shanahan has left, he's constantly trying to do everything he can to help his team win. He's constantly at the top of the league and getting sacked. He doesn't have an offensive line. His defense can't stop anybody from scoring points, but he still goes out, puts forth his best effort. I referenced this stat last year. Through the first 4 games, he scored over 100 points and won 0 games. I don't care who you are. If you're in the NFL and if you're scoring over 100 points, if you're scoring 30 points or more a game, you're expecting to win at least one of those games. So for me, he'll be an honorable mention. I don't think he's the most underrated or underappreciated player, but definitely my first 2. And like I said, Taysom Hill and Matthew Stafford. And then, like I said, kind of torn between Cook and Elliott, but I think I'll lean more toward Elliott in that regard.
Okay. Darren, I want to hear your take because I really don't think you guys are going to say my guys at all. But we'll see. Go ahead, Darren. Let me see what you got.
All right. I have to make one comment because I agree with this so wholeheartedly. The Matthew Stafford one. Matthew Stafford has about 78, 80-ish wins, right? He has 38 game-winning drives. I hope y'all heard that. 78 about wins.
For the guys in the back.
8. If it wasn't for him, that's like another 40 for y'all lost right there, Lions. I don't understand why y'all don't love this man more. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. That's a ridiculous stat I saw the other day. This is a ridiculous stat.
Literally almost half of his wins are comebacks.
All right. I got that off my chest. But I'm actually going to go and start off with his old former team, the Lions. And 2 guys that I see going to be very unappreciated. Frank Ragnow, the center for the Lions, who is honestly one of the best centers in the league. In the last 2 years, he's been coming up more and more. And last year, he really hit his stride. And he was the number 2 PFF graded guy. And he not only did not surrender a sack, he had 1 penalty, and that was it. The man is a beast in that center. And now with that new revamped line, a guy that's coming over to the new team of the Lions, Jamal Williams, who's very underappreciated with the Green Bay Packers. That combination of his new line led by Frank Ragnow and Jamal Williams will be a tandem that's going to do well in the NFC North. I'm telling you now, I like both of them. They were very, very underused in one spot. The other guy's coming into his own now. Match made in heaven.
Wait. Scratch Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook. I know who my third guy is. I was going to say Grady Jarrett. but he'll be an honorable mention as well. Brandon Graham. That joker is underrated and underappreciated. That dude is a freaking monster. I'm sorry, but he is underappreciated. That dude is nice.
Just had to throw that one in there, right?
Yes.
Had to. I understand.
So I have
Matt
sometimes because like athletically, this guy is a top tier tight end every year. But for some reason, he always disappears. Now, I can't necessarily fault him for the Packers because no tight end survive in the Packers except unless your name is Tunyon. Like,
No. Brandon, your Eagles.
Oh, Brandon Graham.
Yes. Not Jimmy Graham. Not Jimmy. Brandon.
I'm sorry. I'm hearing Jim Graham. I'm sorry. All right.
No. It's all Brandon. It's all love for Brandon right now. He got it.
I appreciate that. My bad. I'm all everywhere today. The Sixers messed my brain up.
All right, let me get my last two out real fast.
Go ahead.
So my second one was actually someone I assume my guy over here would have chosen. Avery. Deion Jones, linebacker, Atlanta Falcons.
I didn't want to be too much of a homer, man. There's so many jokers on that team.
No. Let's talk about Deion Jones, who's an absolute force in the run game, the blitz game, the pass game. He is the modern day linebacker that you want, a sideline guy that can cover running backs and tight ends, but also come down and lay the hammer down. The guy has been the heartbeat, basically, of that Atlanta defense. The reason why they wasn't giving up 50 is because of Mr. Deion Jones. But just had to put that out there. I know you wanted to, but I had to do it for you since you wasn't going to do it. And last but not least, somebody that a lot of people are starting to talk about more, but y'all got to understand, he led them and was basically their receiving corps. If you can name more than maybe two people that caught passes other than the running back, you tell me. Washington football team, Terry McLaurin, wide receiver. That guy is very, very underappreciated and underrated. He is going to be a top wide receiver for many years to come in this league. And I gotta give him his props, man. The guy is single-handedly with no one else around him.
He got to perform against the dogs, man.
Eating alive. And now he got a dog next to him. He got a dog behind him. Let's see what he can do.
He got to show he can perform against the top-tier guys, though.
Definitely. All right, my turn. All right, my first guy. I have to give the offensive line some love, man. First and foremost, every offensive lineman is underrated, always. Just always underrated. These guys are the most important part of inside the hash. Most important part of football. These guys don't get enough credit. But my offensive line is actually on my team. My team.
Homer.
A little bit. Not Jason Kelsey. Not Lane Johnson, but the guy right between those guys. Mr.
Okay, I like that one.
Mr. Brandon Brooks.
I like that one.
Been a Pro Bowler all these years, been holding it down, been holding down that offensive line. You know, he's been having injuries lately, but even when he comes back, every time he comes back from his injuries, he's out there as if he never got injured. Brandon Brooks is so underrated. He's such a good blocker, such a great guy. I really wish the best for him because he's getting older. He got injured the last 2 years. I really hope that he really bounced back again, like he always does, and really plays well because the guy is very underappreciated. So that's my number one. My number two guy. Now these two guys might have a little bias between those guys, so I absolutely love these guys. One guy is a wide receiver. He had very bad quarterback play, except for maybe 1 year, and that's debatable.
Allen Robinson.
No, ooh, Allen Robinson.
That was on my list.
Allen Robinson.
Everybody knows Allen. Everybody knows Allen. But
Avery knows I love Allen Robinson. He knows Allen. But another guy I love, so don't get enough credit. You really don't get enough credit. I'm about to say his stats real quick. 2019, 1,000 1,175 yards. Last year, 1,193 yards. With bad quarterback play. And then the year before that was his rookie year, so it wasn't that great.
I know who it is.
Go ahead.
I know who it is. If
Who is
I'm not mistaken, this guy's a slot receiver.
Sort of. You can put it outside there. Who?
Jamison Crowder.
Nope. Mr. DJ Moore. DJ Moore. Underappreciated. This guy is good. And like his first year was his rookie year. Like I said, he had Cam Newton. The year after that was Kyle Anderson. Or no. What's his last name? Kyle whatever. You know the the guy that's playing on Washington now. Last year he had Teddy Bridgewater. Now he got Sam Darnold, who can actually throw. Now, hopefully Sam Darnold becomes a really good player. They got, it's now him. It's now, Robbie Anderson. He got overshadowed by Robbie Anderson last year a little bit. They got the rookie and Terrence Marshall. They're gonna be able to put him in the slot a lot more now as well. DJ Moore, watch out for that name. DJ Moore, watch out for that name, guys. They got a consistent quarterback in there. Cam Newton's last year there was not very consistent. That was the best quarterback he had, but rookie year, Cam Newton's last year at Carolina been injured and out of the lineup too, so it wasn't that great. So I think he's very underappreciated. My number one guy. Since this man been drafted, I've told everybody that this guy's gonna be nice. He's the perfect prototype defensive end that I love. When I play Madden, I'm looking for his size. I'm looking for his height. I'm looking for his speed. I'm looking for his strength. This man, he opted out last year. Okay. It's okay. It happened, COVID. But 2019, 14 and a half sacks. 2018, 14 and a half sacks. Can you guys guess what I'm talking about? No, you can't, because nobody talks about him. Donnell Hunter. That boy is nice. And you guys need to talk more about him. I'm done. Mic drop. Stop it. Stop it.
He's nice. He's nice, but I don't think he's underrated or underappreciated. I think.
No, yeah, because after Everson left, the only other DN that anyone talks about for the Vikings
is Hunter.
If you talk about great 4-3 DNs, you got to bring his name up because of his combination of size, speed, and
league-wise, though. Who's talking about him league-wise?
Again, I think, and that goes back to what I was talking about as far as like Dalvin Cook. I think it's a market thing more than it is an undervalued thing. I don't think they get the games and the notoriety because Dalvin Cook was leading the league in rushing for a long time until Derrick Henry surged, but nobody was really talking about it. I mean, you heard mention of it, but it's because it's like the market. You
might be right about that, but Donnell Hunter needs to get more praise. That dude is nice, and I'm glad he's breaking out, and I hope that he gets. I believe he's looking for a contract. I hope he gets his contract. If not, he can come to Philly.
Wait. I have to throw one guy in there. I forgot to mention this guy. James Bradbury for the Giants, cornerback. Bruh, he keeps it up the way he is. Y'all Eagles, Devontae Smith, he gonna have a hard time. I'm telling you, that boy is nasty. He's nasty when he wanted to be, especially since he came over to the Giants. He showed a little bit in Panthers with Carolina, but since he's been with the Giants, he's been one of the top 10 cornerbacks in coverage.
My last one.
Oh, my God.
My last one. Byron Jones of the Miami Dolphins, man. I think point blank.
That is AFC, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I wanted to include him last year, but last week.
10 interceptions from Howard, and he got overlooked. Mm-hmm. And that was the reason why Howard's got 10 interceptions because Byron Jones was playing all his mind.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather try Howard and risk the pick than even touch Jones.
I agree. Well, that's going to do it for us today, guys. And thank you all for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you're not watching this live and you are watching on YouTube, first and foremost, go on the channel, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can go on live, so you can watch us live, so you can get your comments in here live, and we can answer them for you live. So please do that. But also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter with all the social medias. And you can check us out on InsideTheHatches.com. where you can find all our content. We got gaming, we got podcasts, we got player interviews, we got fantasy football coming up soon. Check that out.
Coming back.
And yes, we gotta get some of these guys are in a revenge tour. They're ready to go. They wanna avenge their spots. So we're gonna see how that goes also. So that'll be very, very soon, sometime in August. And check out all our podcast platforms as far as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, where you can find all our player interviews and things like that as well. So please make sure you do that for us, and we will. We thank you guys for checking us out, and we see you next time. I'm Avery Collins. No, I'm Jordan Jones. This is Avery Collins. This is Darren Braxton. Thank you guys for checking us out, and we see you next time. Peace.
Trust.
Philly. Yo.
Matt Ryan, president.
Before you get off. Sixers suck.